SmokyVale companions, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a bit of a old-fashioned blend, if you will. It's one that the Viking Piper actually did recently, and I've been smoking it for a bit now, but that is half and half. What someone might call a codger blend, or an over-the-counter blend, because in the early 1900s, when this tobacco was produced by the American Tobacco Company, it was something that was pretty common, pretty easy to get, whether at a local drugstore or tobacconist. But it's definitely got a good history to it. Sadly, it is yet another blend that is now under the Scandinavian tobacco group. And if we look at the back of this container here, you can see it on there. Now it says Made in USA by Scandinavian Tobacco Group. So, interestingly enough, this tobacco, which came out in 1909. Now before that, you had the American Tobacco Group that ended up consuming the Lucky Strike brand, which, if you go back and you look at some of their classic artwork at the time, the different marketing advertisements they had, I really get a kick out of those. I think some of them are very cool. I love some of the art styles, and it's actually kind of what inspired me to do that piece of art and some other ones that I've been working on now for a bit. But did not know that American Tobacco Company had bought up Lucky Strike. So interestingly enough, when those two kind of joined together, apparently this was kind of a product that had come out of that. And again, it's a very interesting blend. Now it's Virginia and Burley, and it's the cut in here, it's almost like a granola kind of texture. I mean, if you look at it, there's a lot of like loose chunk pieces and just the way that it's cut. So it's not like a nice long like strip, like ribbon cut, or a ready rub kind of cut. So it's very interesting in that way. It has a very nice, sweet, warm, bready, raisiny, earthy tone to it. The cardamom, coriander, and mace notes that are in here also make for such a unique smoke overall. It's one that I really enjoy. And if we're going to talk codger blends, then another one I kind of have to put along those lines are the Sir Walter Raleigh, which is also another tobacco that I very much enjoy. If I had to pick one though, I think the half and half edges it out just a little bit for me. And I'll tell you, I'm gonna go ahead and fill my bowl right now while we're chatting here, but I've kept it in this bag, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely, it still has, I think, the right amount of humidity to it. It is not overly dry. It is on the drier side, but overall, I mean, it still has a nice feel to it. And yeah, it's those three components. It's very interesting. So maize, being a sweet corn, you definitely get those sweet corn-like alcohols in the smoke. That's kind of how it comes across to me anyway. Coriander, which is I believe the seed of the cilantro plant. I'm not 100% on that, but that tends to have a little bit of a citrusy note to it. Definitely a good spice. And then the cardamom, which is something I use frequently in my baking, especially if I'm doing up some muffins. I find that it's definitely another citrus note. I think it's kind of similar to orange, personally, as a flavor. But three ingredients that definitely have a nice, bright, sweet, spiced aroma and flavor. And overall, it's a very good blend. Now, I don't know how similar it is. I'm going to guess that there is a pretty decent difference between what we have now from the STG and what the American Tobacco Company and Lucky Strike were able to put together. And if for no other reason, not so much the changing of hands over the years, but more so that the tobacco that we grow now and that we have now, it's different. I mean, it just is. Soils change, the various minerals and things that are in our atmosphere rain down, get into the soil, the different types of tobacco leaves, how they've changed genetically over time with different productions, different growing methods. So all in all, I mean, there's going to be some differences. You know, it's not as simple as maybe the recipe didn't translate. Which is why I would very much love to try some of the classic Peterson blends. It also just lends to the importance of, cellaring these tobaccos. You know, even half and half. Which, I do need to put this into a jar. Right off that draw. Very sweet. Nice, sweet. Smooth. When I let that kind of rest on my palate, I really am. I'm getting a good amount of that cardamom. I don't get much of the coriander, and maybe it's subtle and we're just not picking up on it, but the cardamom and the mace definitely stands out to me in this blend, and you can definitely get that in the aroma as well, especially the mace. It is just such a nice natural sweetness that's in there. This is actually one I bet would be quite enjoyable smoking in a cob. Again, just to get those corn alcohols almost enhanced from the cob. I have a Missouri Meerschaum, and you guys, if you watch any of my other videos, you've seen it a couple times. But I personally find that when I smoke out of the cob, I am getting a corn flavor in my smokes. Now, maybe that's not the case with all cobs. I'm not sure, but it's something that I experience. And with some blends, it can be fantastic. One blend I enjoy in my cob in particular is actually the Briar Fox by Cornell and Deal, I believe. Another good blend. Now, this is nice. It's definitely sweet, smooth, easy to smoke. Yeah, it's pretty light on the retrohale too. Yeah. It's got a good taste. Yeah, that coriander, it really stands out to me. And there's a little bit of a breadiness, which I'm sure comes from the Virginias. The bag note is just a little bit sweeter. The breadiness, and it is almost like a sweet raisin kind of note. Definitely prominent in the tin, which I really enjoy. This is one that I found myself smoking quite a few times, especially in the morning during the spring and summer. Mostly during the summer, but all in all, it's a great blend. But yeah, so this Carter Hall, Prince Albert, Sir Walter Raleigh, you know, all of these considered over-the-counter or codger blends. I actually, so from one of the recent shorts that I did, asking you guys, you know, hey, if you could only take, you know, if you could have a pick of one tobacco, you know, almost like a stranded island kind of question, like, hey, if you could take only one tobacco with you and whatever the situation is, what would it be? And a number of you said Prince Albert. There we go. I had to remember it, but yeah, Prince Albert. So I've got some of that coming because I, you know, between that and then it was St. Bruno, which is not one I had heard of before. I'll have to look. Maybe that one's considered a codger blend as well. I'm not sure, but that's another one I have coming. I'm interested in trying it now since you guys had mentioned it. So yeah, so overall, very happy with this blend, and it is just a nice, light, very sweet, vibrant blend. So all in all, you know, if you're an aromatic smoker, I think this is one you'll definitely enjoy. If you're an English smoker, I don't know that you get much out of this. But this bag's seen better days. Well, Vale companions, as always, thank you for joining me on this smoke. I'm gonna go finish up this bowl. Half and half, not too shabby. And again, this is also good, right in line with the half and half. I just think this one overall, it's a little sweeter, and I do enjoy a nice sweet tobacco blend.